Hi, this is Edward Troxel, and today we're going to look at a specific script that was requested on the forums. So let's take a quick look at the forum post, and then we'll look at how to create that script. Here's the post on the forum. Basically, it says that they want to fill the gaps if there are spaces between events on the timeline. So in their example, they have one image that starts at 12 and ends at 13 frames, another one that starts at 21 ends at 22, and another one that starts at 35 and ends at 36. After the script is run, they want the first image to go all the way to 20, then the second one would start at 21, but it would go all the way to 34, and then the third one would start at 35, and then it will go as far as the person wants to change it. So let's see how we would do that. Here we have our standard script that we've been using forever, and on this one we're going to first of all get the first track. 0 is the first track, so we're just going to look at track 0, and we will assign that to my track. Next, I'm going to create me a new variable here that is a track event variable, and I'm going to call that the previous event, and I'm going to set that to null. What I'm going to do is always look at the previous event and move it up to it ends at the current event. So as I go through the events on the timeline, let's look at the previous one and then change its length to come up to me. So now we're going to go through all of the events in that track. The first time it goes through here will be the first event, and previous event will equal null, so we will not do this for the first event. So after we check to see is the previous event null. If it is not equal to null, then we're going to change the previous event length. So we will take the previous event length, we're going to change it to the start position of the current event minus the start position of the previous event. Then once we've made that change, we're going to say the previous event is now the current event, and then it will loop through and do the rest of the events. So let's see how that works. Here we have a sample timeline. I've got one event here, there's a big gap, and then we've got another event, then a big gap, then another event, a big gap, and so forth with all these gaps, and we want all these gaps to be filled by the previous event. So ultimately this one will be extended to there, and so forth with the rest of these. So let's run the script and see what happens. So after the script has been run, now this one extends all the way to the beginning of this one. This one, even though it's video, it still will extend it, and it's extended all the way to the beginning of the next one. This one's extended all the way to the beginning of that one, and so forth and so on, and the last one was not changed. So we could change it if we wanted it to be longer as well. We could change that event length manually. So as you can see, changing the event length is actually a fairly easy process. We've gone through and we've changed everything that was previous to the current event to be the length long enough to fill up the hole in front of that event. And so this is just a very simple routine that solves a very simple problem for this person, and I hope they get much use out of it. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.